Yo, what's up? I'm Nitrogen, and today I will tell you a story time. Today is a story time, and I will tell you how I to Japaneses, so that I am Japanese, because my accent, my intonation, and my pitch accent, I think. Obviously, was like I'm Japanese, and yes, the question here is obviously that I have a good pitch accent. I think that yes, obviously I don't have a perfect pitch accent because at least because I am not fluent yet, so I don't know a lot of words that you put me here a word and I can't tell you what pitch accent is because I didn't heard that word ever, and obviously there are words that I haven't hear a few times. I have heard that word a few times, so I don't have that pitch accent still in my head. But yeah, I think obviously that's it. I have pitch accent. I have today. I will do this video with a script, so you will have this video will be good to learn. I'll tell you first the story time. So how that happens? Okay, I was in VRCHAT. You know that game. I say it a lot. I don't know if I say it in this channel, but when someone asks me about how to meet people in the target language, I used to say that you can obviously don't use italki except if you want a native teacher, but I don't use obviously italki. I don't want to use it. I don't need it, because if you learn that correctly, if you do the step that I am doing, you will be like me, that you don't really need a teacher, because you will be able to just say if something is correct or no. Besides, you think that that's not true because you don't feel it still. You will notice if you keep going learning a language, you will and immersing yourself in videos that I will tell you after the story time. You will notice that you can teach yourself. So yeah, I will tell you what that was in VRCHAT. In VRCHAT, I have a Chinese username because before the story time, I will tell you the story time. I will explain that if you want. I will explain that in a video where I will tell how to start in AJATT or Refold, the way that is the best. Okay, and VRCHAT. That was that I had a Chinese username with katakana and romanji, that too, and obviously people there, once they see me, when a Japanese see me, they think that I am Chinese, but I am not. I am Gaijin, but I am not Chinese. I am a Spaniard. I am. So there was two in this world, and that two Japanese was like want to talk with people there, with Japanese people, and then they started to try to talk with other people, but no one was responding there, because in VRCHAT in the Chinese world and Japanese world, there are a lot of people that it's like they are not using the PC and have their avatar there, like if there were bots, but I don't know what they are doing. If someone is Japanese and do that, or you do that, you can tell me why that happened. And yeah, at the end, the Japanese people talked to me because obviously there was a lot of people, but other people, but I was like a part of all the people with another person that was like a bot, and I was seeing all the world that world, and then that's it. The two Japanese have was near of me, so like there I was only with another person. When they talked to that person, I noticed that was like a bot. They don't tell, that person don't talk. Then they talked to me, and what they say, I say domo, and that's and then they tell, obviously they say me domo, and that, and I had an okami like okami avatar. So that I don't know why, but I know why. Obviously, it's a Japanese game. I don't know, but Japanese used to say, "Hey, what? You have an okami avatar or something like that." I didn't listen to them. Honestly, there was a lot of vocabulary that I don't know in her speech, so I didn't understand her so well, but my accent was pretty good. I know because in that moment I think that I say that. I don't remember clearly what I said before they told me that hey, you are Japanese, hey, you are not Japanese, something like that. But I said that like yes, okami avatar, something like that. I don't know. Obviously, it wasn't with that accent. I will show you after that how is my Japanese. I will show you a video where I talk in Japanese so you can get an idea how I talk. Sorry, 失礼ですね。まあ、okay, I was talking Japanese, I don't know why. In that moment, they say something more, and I told to them like, I don't, what are you saying or something like that. I don't know. I told something like I didn't understand, and then they tell me, "Hey, you're not Japanese. Hey, you're not Japanese." And I said, obviously that not, because I don't have to obviously hide that I am not Japanese. I want obviously to have a Japanese accent, and that's like if I were native. I think that I don't think like other. I think that if you learn a language in a good way, you will end up being native, because at the end, language is something that you learn when you are a baby. You don't, if you are a Japanese person, you don't talk Japanese because you are a Japanese person. You learn you can talk Japanese because your family and your world in that moment when you was a child, the people around you was talking Japanese, and then you learn it. But if I learn in a good way, obviously I will end up like a Japanese. But the only thing is that obviously I am a Spaniard, and then I will have a Spaniard, like a Spaniard document, Spaniard information, the way Spaniard Spanish in Spanish we talk, and they will have the way in Japanese them talk, and that's it. That, I will not explain this, but you get an idea why I think that. Okay, well, I don't know where I was in the story time. Sorry if I am I talk so much. But yeah, in that moment they say that they say, "Hey, you're not Japanese. You're not Japanese." I told that not. They obviously say that like you're Chinese. Yes, you are Chinese, and I said obviously that not. I am Spanish. I'm from Europe, and then they said, "Ah, Spain. Ah, I know." No, and in that moment, they say to me, "Oh, your Japanese is good. It's Yozu moment." That like people say, I have that moment for the first time, but I don't think it's like so. They obviously say, yeah, Math versus Japan that if you receive an Yozu, does not mean that you are bad or something. You can see Yukata or Yukata. I mean that is Yukata, that person Yuta. I don't know her name, but it's a Japanese who talk English, and they explain how people don't have to get angry because some Japanese told you that you are Yosu, and that's true. You don't have to do that. But I think in my case was because obviously my Japanese in that moment they saw that my Japanese was so pretty good. Why? Why? Because in that moment that Japanese people keep acting with me like if I were Japanese more in that group. You know what I mean? They integrate me in her group, and they told me like, "Hey, they can keep talking. You will learn in this story that my outfit is not well. Nowadays not well. I obviously I can't say things, and it's not like what is this or that type of sentences. I know to say some other things, but that my Japanese not so good at putting well until now. And you will learn this in this story time, how this keep on follow. Okay, they show me another world. They they show me more Japanese people. I was like playing with talking so much. There was some times there where they ask me question like, "Hey, what are you doing?" That I remember how was that. The one of the first that was that, and I say Nonimo or something like that, and then they loud and say that Nonimo, and that things was cool. And more question was other. I don't remember now what they asked to me, but I was like, I want to respond, and there was some time that I saw that my phrases was like good, but that's not for was nothing good for. And then when they asked me to me and question where I was supposed to express myself, and that they noticed that I can't express in Japanese until now, you could feel there how they started to in that moment treat me like an gaijin, or like if I obviously like when someone don't know Japanese because they don't treat you like a gaijin because you're a gaijin. They treat to you like someone who don't know Japanese, and then they it's like get a little bit scared because they think that you will obviously don't understand them. And I have to say that I don't know how many people in Japan know Japanese. I think I know that that person that I say before, that was Yukata or some, you know what YouTuber is. If you find in YouTube, if you search Yosu Japanese and that, what to, I don't know how was the video, but was that that person in that video said that Japanese people don't know, it's hard to them to just pronounce an word in English and get to understand. So I think that I noticed that because I think that Japanese people only talk in English when you are talking with them in text, in Twitter and place like that, where they can they're talking English because they use translate Google Translate, and that's it. I feel at the in the final, at the end of the that conversation, they keep, don't worry, because besides they don't treat me like at first time, where after I said that I was Spanish, that they keep me like if I were keep me treating like if I were a Japanese person, because my Japanese was so good. At the end, obviously they don't, it was like they was talking between them, you know, with them and that, and I was not talking. I was like, obviously I in that moment I was like, okay, I don't express, I don't know how to talk in Japanese so well. My Japanese accent is so pretty good. I have a pitch accent, and that at the end I end up soliciting, I don't know, having telling them that they can add me in friends list, and they add me in friend list. Was so cool, because in a future may we encounter or see, we can see one more time, I can see one more time that two Japanese people when I get fluent, and then I will be able to obviously talk with them and other Japanese people pretty good, like if I born there. And yeah, now that the story time that was the end, I honestly, when I end up, that was so like, wow, I Japanese people, because when you're a child and you don't know how or you are a person who don't talk other language, you don't know like how accent is when you are learning another language. Is when you know, when you are seeing, because here in Spain we say English speakers, you know, native English speakers, I don't know, talking Spanish, and I notice that accent is so is pretty, obviously pretty bad in some case. People obviously they talk well, but in most of cases they don't talk honestly good at all, and that's it. In that case, obviously we is like, oh, they talk like they don't have the Spanish accent and talk word in a weird way. No, but when we try to learn another language, when I started in Japanese, I never put attention to the accent or whatever. I was like, if I say the word in a correct grammar, I was like a Japanese person. That's not so easy. That's so before I so with that, I noticed that that my brain is getting obviously pitch accent, and my accent, my my pronunciation is pretty good in Japanese. Like Japanese person think that I am Japanese, and that's so cool. When I end up that conversation and that, it was like a speed up. I felt more like Japanese, you know. It was so cool, and I will just start here how to make the steps to make a good accent and how to learn pitch accent. Okay. Before that, I will show you here how I talk nowadays Japanese. 今このゲームを始まってますね。しんどい内容ですね。まあ、くくつ。なんだこれ。Obviously, I have to. My Japanese still is building up, so there is obviously some time where I don't talk well. In some video that I make, if I play a game, obviously there will be words that I don't know, and the pitch accent obviously is not correct, maybe, and that type of thing. But if I know one word, I think that my pitch accent will be correct, something like that. No, you know. And okay, the steps to make a good accent. First, I will tell you that, and that's what I do, and I will do that. I don't care if someone, I think Ojima told that was a little bit weird, but I don't think like that. When I start learning a language, inclusive this, Japanese, that I know, but I am keeping it while I am learning. I will keep it that, and it's choose one YouTuber that you like how he talk, or she, if you are a girl, and that choose a parent from initial, and obviously that's it. How to choose it? I have a video, the last video that I will put in the description. With that video you will find in Japanese, in other language too, but in Japanese you will find a video with certain dialect. So that's it. You will obviously immerse in that YouTuber, like will be the YouTuber that you will see. Nowadays I will tell how I do this. I obviously there is some time that I see another YouTuber, but usually I obviously see my parent that I choose it, and I see them all the day. I immerse myself in Japanese 3 hours per day. Intensive immersion, passive immersion, that depends on the day. And yes, I used to immerse all that 3 hours with that YouTuber, and I don't see any other YouTubers. I do what Tojima called the Hikaru challenge. So you can do that obviously, and that's it. That is the best. I think that's the best immersion method, because you will take that like a challenge, and you will end up doing it. Besides, you are like, you feel bad because you don't want to immerse. You will say, this is a challenge. You will take that like a challenge, and you will keep doing that. And that's it. That Ojiman said was so cool. I honestly was so good, that method. So yeah, I will choose obviously that a YouTuber with a dialect where you want to obviously end up that talking. And I will tell you that yes, honestly I do this. If you don't want, I don't know, But yes, it's you don't know because I don't put here below what to do, but it's say, and I am saying like if you were knowing what I will do, what I will say, but you don't know. The thing I will say is that you to be able to pronounce good and to develop that a good accent, you will say basic phrases that you know, like どこですか? それはそれはどこですか? Or something like that. I don't know. And that's it. You will say this type of things like each 2 months you say something or for 2 minutes, or like you have to play with that, and you have to imitate. You when do this when you are doing this, you will not having to say like, oh, それはどうですか? And something like that, or no, you will have to imitate your YouTubers. I will try to imitate now. This will be the last in this month that or in 2 months, like I say, that I will imitate. I will do I will do like my Japanese will sleep, my outputting, because I will not do more outputting like I will try to a month, because that's it. I will explain you why here now. Before after that, I will try to imitate one YouTuber. それは何ですか? なんだこいつ? I imitate one YouTuber. You can say what YouTuber is. You can notate what YouTuber is if you say my other videos. And way to like have silent periods, because in that silent period your brain will be picking up the other things that YouTuber, like the other YouTubers pronounce, and then the next time in the next 2 months you will be try one more time to output and that you will notice that's it, that your brain is like that you can imitate that YouTubers, and that your brain will be able to like imitate YouTubers. I can't like imitate Spanish YouTubers and that, but in Japanese I can imitate a lot of YouTubers, and I don't know, it's like that. It's like my brain take up the idea that I must imitate Japanese YouTubers, that Japanese that I am seeing, and that's it. Okay, that's it. I hope you get clear in this. I will now teach you how to learn pitch accent. First of all, you must learn the rules of pitch accent. I saw before one video of Jiman. I saw that was like stupid things. I listen. I have. You don't know, but I have in my Anki cards, and that is pitch accent. So it's like I only see that the pitch accent in the Anki card, and I try to listen. And that's now if you know the rules, you will it will be more easy to you to like learn pitch accent, because there are rules like in the Tokyo dialect, that is in the most Japanese dialect. Obviously they use that pitch accent with a little bit variation, but it's like the Tokyo accent, so that's it. There is only the exception that is that is Osaka and that Kansai dialect, but that's it. It's the same, at least the pitch accent. So what you must learn that rules, that there is someone like in the first, if there is the first syllable, the first hiragana, I would say, the first hiragana is in a high pitch. The second will be in a low, or vice versa. if the first is in a low pitch, the second will be in a high pitch, and there is a lot other more, so it's easy to learn, and that's it. Then when you have had learned that rules, that is quickly, the next thing you have to do is to try to listen. Always try to listen pitch accent. That you can do. You can get obsessed and to just like to listen that a video and to say, oh, what pitch accent is this, or I am doing and don't understand what that person is saying. But I say to you that it's like that is something that you will learn in, I don't know how much you can end up trying to listen pitch accent and to get the level that you listen pitch accent. But I mean, in Spanish I think that that it's like someone say that in Spanish we listen pitch accent. Pitch accent at least is like the song that is the speech of Japanese people. Like it's not like something like that, like これは何ですか？これはそれすごいだ。いや、それすごいですね。At least I think that sentences that I use have pitch accent. I don't know, because I obviously when you learn pitch accent, you will end up using it if you don't want or whatever. I will try to do pitch accent with Spanish, and you will notice two sentences. If you don't notice that, I don't know. There's Japanese people don't notice something like that. You know, it's that system, but it's like a song. You can learn. You can see videos where Japanese people explain this, what is pitch accent, and they will do the typical is hana, and that's it. It's only, I think that if you can listen that, you will be able to just pick up the pitch accent. I honestly still don't like. I think that with time, yes, I am ending up knowing that, but I can when I said that in Anki cards I have the pitch accent of the words I am learning, but when I try to like I don't know how to say that in English, to like say what pitch accent will be, then I get like, oh, that was not that pitch accent, and that was not the high low. In the first, and that's not. Besides, I say that with the pitch accent when I spoke, I say that good. I really don't know still how difference well is high. What is high and what is low? I don't know what is high and what is low. You know what I mean? It's like when you can pick up that if I say to you one word, but if I say that word in a phrase, in a sentences, then you can tell me like what pitch is high and what pitch is low, but you are listening that like that pitch accent, you know, like it's like that. And that is try to listen. When you listen that, you will you must like that, like be conscious, like focus sometime. When you listen that, you will have to focus on like that, like try to pick up the way they say that word, because that is at least That is, you must imitate, fully imitate the most possible your parent in the way they talk, and that is not only like the phonemes and that, like if you say accent, I say accent, and that's it. No, I don't know. You must know what I am trying to tell you, and the and that I will say that if you have, like me in Anki, you do it with the dictionary. I don't know what dictionary was, but Bad vs Japan Yomi-chan, I think that is so Yomi-chan. If you have Yomi-chan, download the VRCHAT dictionary, and I will tell you how to add this, how to edit your cards in the way that you will be having the cards like in the best card you can make. I will show you how to make the better cards you can, and I will tell you how to put in the cards pitch accent, and that is so easy. And that's it. If you have that, when you are doing Anki, the thing that I am doing is that it's obviously like hearing how they pronounce that pitch accent and that, and obviously picking up, because you will be picking up that. And that's it. If you are this obviously is the better way is when you are a beginner in Japanese. If you are not a beginner, and see you should like get in panic, because it's like you will not get good in Japanese. That is false. For me, is in any level you will be able to just fix your language that you are learning. I fixed up my Japanese was not fixed up. I only noticed that my Japanese, besides I know a lot of words and that, I was able to listen YouTubers like Hikaru janai. It's like Hikakin TV and that channels. Beside that, my Japanese was not so good, and that's why because I have that easy to just, I don't really know, because English, I learned English with literally Wikipedia. I never listen in YouTubers. I listen in YouTubers like seriously in English was when I was learning about Refold and AJATT, and that's when I was like getting a level, a listening level, you know. And I fixed a little bit my accent in English. You can notice that if you go to my first video and you see this or the last. I think that in this video I got a worse accent than in the last video, but I don't know, it's like my English is getting worse, I don't know. But yeah, at least I think that if you immerse in a lot, you will be able to just to imitate that YouTuber. You only have to have in mind that when you are seeing that YouTuber, that you want to end up talking like that person, and that is also that imitate that person, and you will end up talking that language well. So that's it. This video is 45 minutes will be. It's so long, but it's so good. If you listen to me, if you understand me, you will end up with a good pitch accent. I will not tell anymore. So goodbye. Subscribe to my channel, because I will tell you in the next video. I will say how to start in AJATT. That is obviously what I am doing. If you are not starting, you can follow up my steps too, because that if you are not inclusive, if you are not understanding, there is something that is better, because it's like me when I started Refold and AJATT and that things. I had a level in Japanese, so I wasn't have to in that moment to see kids stuff and that things. I was able to just jump to see YouTubers and that, and look on what level I am now, and I honestly hope I will end up talking like if I were that, and I were Japanese in that way, and then obviously I will end up like forgetting that I am learning a language. I will use it in my day, and that's it, everything. Because if you end up in that a language, you it's like that, is to use it and don't care. The last thing that I will say here is that the most important thing when you are talking to a person in other country, obviously first is be able to express yourself, not like me in Japanese with that person that I told in the story time. And the second is obviously you must be funny, and that's it, everything. Because if you are not funny, the person will not obviously laugh with you. Any joke that you will say will laugh at all, and that's it, everything. If you are that person that people don't laugh with you, don't care, you must develop a funny personality, and that's it, everything. Goodbye.